like, tripod. My mom would be like, let's see. I saw that sitting out in the kitchen. I was wearing my strap top. So it was Thursday, and I just dropped Mary Liza off because I had to take her back from school because she had a dentist appointment with Mr. Reed at 11:30. So it is in the garage.
I totally get that. Like, what
That's what you're like?
No, well, I mean, in the sense of, like, I start at the beginning. Like, if I can't remember specifically the thing that we're trying to... A lot of times it comes up in, like, stoner conversation where it's like, what were we talking about because we laughed for too long or something? And I'll go back to the last topic that I can actually remember and then trace it through the organic... Like the way it moved forward.
I can't tell you.
Okay, so the last thing I can remember is I talked about my shoes being black, and then you were talking about how like yellow shoes are better, and then I'll make this active.
The best part of this podcast so far are those moments. I'm not telling because I go through everyone at the end, and to listen to sometimes we'll stop and be like. Oh shit, wait, we were talking about science. Where were we talking about science? And then we get our way all the way back. Oh, those are so fun. Oh, God,
right.
hilarious.
I mean, because you have to do that because it's like...
Yeah, but honestly, within a conversation is one thing. But legitimately, I don't have yes, when I was 7, I got this or whatever. Like, my husband can tell you, what music was playing in the room when certain events happened. I'm like,
Whoa.
I may or may not have dated this guy. I don't really remember much between 22 and 27.
Yeah.
It was fun. I remember that, but I don't know.
Dude, it's ridiculous, the details you remember that don't matter much.
Not only those that I remember.
That's how Roy was when he was on here. I remember every time Roy or Red or anybody in the room brought up something, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, no, I remember you said that June 26th around 7:30." He was just really specific about the exact time about things, and it's my life is constantly being redefined when I tell it to people that experienced it with me. Because I remember I had this really sad memory that I found out was not as sad after cycling it back through people, where I was like, hey, you remember that one time we found our dog dead in the snow that one year? And it was no, it was Christmas, but it wasn't snowy. And I was like, well, snow made it sadder. And that's in my head. I was I made it sad remembering it over and over the wrong way. And it was no, it was Christmas, but it was 82 degrees. And it was just a hot Christmas for us that year. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no. Snow would make that sadder if I found a dead dog in the snow. But on just a regular 82-degree Christmas morning, that's not sad.
Where are you from?
South Carolina.
Oh, that's why it's 82 degrees.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you never get a beat on that. You never know. It could just be...
We never had 80-degree Christmas mornings in Boston.
Yeah, you have...
None.
You have Christmas mornings that should be the last Christmas morning ever, probably.
I realized that if I have kids, it would probably behoove me to move them up there so that they can spend the first few years of their life having a hard time, it being difficult and annoying. Because just the other day I was walking down the street and it was just it was 4 p.m. and the weather was just so beautiful, and I was like, it's February and I am wearing the lightest of jackets and this is the best, and I'm so glad I live here now. But I wouldn't appreciate it if I came from a place that was also nice all the time. You know what I mean? I love it because I know that if I called my sister, she'd be like, I don't know, I'm shoveling for the next 6 hours. And I'd be like, ha, ha, ha. And then I'd hang up and but I want that. I need to create hardship. Same when we were talking about, I was talking to your brother about poverty. He literally is so funny. He knows me none at all. Wendell's brother who just moved to town. But I talked to him because I'm very close to Wendell. I talk to him like we're close.
No, and I mean, you might as well swap us out whenever. We experience the exact same life just from 3 years separate. So
You're different people.
Oh, yeah. No, we definitely are. The fact that he talks to you about anything is really... I'm still learning about my brother because we've spent so much time apart. So it's I'm still figuring out what adult Clinton is. So what was you saying?
No, he was just sort of nodding and agreeing with what we were talking about. He didn't really contribute much. And I just talk until someone interrupts me. Like now, for instance, and and I just keep going, and then eventually the conversation feels awkward, and I walk away from people. But people usually feel awkward already, so I never look awkward. Yeah. Like later on, they're never like, that girl. They're like, whoa, she said a lot of stuff, and it seems impressive, but it's just gabbing.
And that's the thing, like, Clinton has kind of always been like that for me. Not to, like, make this about my little brother, but, like, he's the one that sort of defined how I would act around everyone else, because, like, he was very just, like, okay, and just nodding and just letting me get my one-sided conversation out sometimes. And then, it was, like, I would go and be really excited about people that react to me. And the thing is, like, he'll react sometimes. He just has to get really comfortable. And it's, like, 9 times out of 10 when I start to feel like a dick about being the only guy that talks to a person that I work with or people that I see on it's like, man, I'm just only talking. Maybe I should shut up. There's that one day where that guy is having a great day where they just know they can finally jump into a random conversation with a guy. Because it's like, I'm only doing it to keep to keep zero silence in the conversation, It's like, sometimes it's like a human doesn't interact with me. It's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna... You're a mirror. Like, that's how it is. And I don't know. Oh. Well, I mean, because you don't want to, like, put it on them to just, like, and you have to say, and then just wait till silence gets bad,
Yeah, what do you, I hear reactions, like, what's your social, like, do you find yourself being the one who mostly talks? Are you, like, strongly walks up to strangers,
like, pointed,
you pointed at me?
You talk. I only said that not to call you guys out. I just mean people can't see things.
But I mean, like, how do you handle that socially?
Well, do you want to take it?
You mean I'm confused by the question?
Like at a party, do you like stand in the corner and wait till somebody talks to you, or do you like
I'll just
walk
go to
up
people
to
I
people?
know. I will not talk to new people.
Ever?
I will find something that a person has on them, usually, or like an article of clothing that's interesting. If they're holding something, and I'll go up and I'll question them about that.
Like a bright pink shirt covered in...
yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I want to talk to me.
I have to...
Exactly.
Shit, yeah.
It's true. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, I get that. You wear shit to draw people just like you into it. I get that.
That's I want people... Yeah, I want to meet people on the same level.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
You're wearing a conversation starter.
Exactly.
You're wearing an icebreaker.
Exactly.
You did.
And of course, a new movement's a great place to meet people.
Yeah.
Where we all grow.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I can't get to know people or be friends with people, and it has to be on there has to be like a context to getting to know them. So I have to get to know them in a way that's not being friends with them first before I can become friends with them. I can't just become friends with a random person. That's chaos.
Okay, well, you get hung up on the idea that maybe you're only feeling like you're supposed to become friends with them, or there's something.
Yeah, I was like, it's like I'm not gonna like start talking to a random person unless I'm like, oh, that person can. I can talk about this with that person, and it can be in no way seem like I'm pursuing this person as a friend, because then I'll leave.
Yeah, like you're.
So it's like in case like I can like duck out of this really quickly. I can be like, hey, something, and then I can be like this, and I can be like, great, and then I'll leave.
Huh, interesting.
Or I can be like, hey, something, and then they'll say something, and I'll go, oh. And then I can, so it's like, I need like a proving grounds.
That's so funny. My point of view in this scenario,
brave.
My entire, 100% of my job is talking to strangers. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I just have to look at everyone that walks through the door and decide if they seem like somebody that should stick around and then talk to them. And I was like, I got all of you, you know what I mean? Like, well, Zach was given to me by you, Nathaniel.
That's true.
But, which is funny, because I thought about that. Like, I was like, I never had to pursue you, but I pursued you, and I pursued you. Everybody else but Zach.
Delia Way's really friendly. Like, you pursued me.
No, but it's like the idea of what I'm doing is trying to convince people to stick around, and if I, hang out with them, and it turns out that they do have what I feel like is the right vibe for the group, then I convince them to stick around and that kind of stuff. But that's so interesting that any of you would feel any different? Meaning, like, I don't know, I see you in one way based on our interactions. And so the confidence level I imagine you have is different generally than what people actually have. Like what they think they have on the inside.
But this is like Moet, who can just like go into a bar by himself and like talk to anyone. It's like really good at it. Mm-hmm. Terrified of being on stage. It's a horrible, horrible stage fright.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. But he also has a lot of yeah. Well, but it's a different animal.
Yeah, like social interaction.
Social. We're talking about social though, because I can go up and talk on stage to any person. No, like if there's 4,000 people, yeah, okay, no problem. I got that. Yeah. Like I'm not afraid of being up there, but yeah, I mean individually it gets a little weirder.
Yeah, because there's a control involved in being on stage, where it's like literally anybody else who is talking without being like prompted to do so is kind of the asshole. There's at least a heckler, unless the guy on stage is being so terrible that people need to shout at them. You know, it's like being on stage is sort of that's different than like just bumping into some friends or like even meeting new people, because it's like you're not really meeting these people; they're kind of meeting you, and you're kind of like helping them enjoy themselves while they do it. You know, like it's I don't know, because there's no like chance where it's like improv gives you the suggestion opportunity that some people choose not to take, or they do, but it's like, you're on stage. The people there are really, it's not a social interaction and that they get to, like, back you up on that so much as just, like, confirm that you're doing a good job controlling the situation, you know?
That's a good point.
Huh. And I've only adopted that after hearing, like, Jerry Seinfeld talk about it, where it's just, like, not to say that you're better than them, but it's like, you have the opportunity, you're the one there. And it's like, you are in control of everybody's happiness.
Whenever I teach, like sketch, I'm always talking about the audience like they're peons.
I know you
don't like get what's going on. Like it's like, listen, guys, let me teach you easily the basic tenets of getting any buffoon to laugh in the damn audience.
Yeah,
like
normies.
And in fact,
I've heard you call them normies. Yeah. I always loved normies.
When I the other day I was watching Clayton's Electric Hullabaloo, and I was so delighted to see a moment when it was an event repeated. Like it was a 3-beat joke, and it was just the same thing. And I can't even remember what it was at this point. I just remember the moment when the 3rd beat happened, when it was like, I'm going to do this. The second time, I'm going to do this. 3rd time, what do you guys think? I'm probably going to do this. And when they did the 3rd beat of this joke, the audience erupted in joyous laughter. And I was just like, so simple. Yeah. Give them what they want. They want it. They ask you for it. Just give it to them. Like,
I wonder what part that was.
Might have been the pies.
Pies.
Pies are always good.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I mean, there was a lot of pie in the face action, and it was just simple. And I remember just thinking, like, this is delightful. Like, how, like, all this effort I put into things sometimes where I'm like, but is the context within the joke really the right? And I'm like, fuck that. Yeah. Throw pie in his face. That's why, like, every 6th sketch I write is a dick joke. Like, every once yeah, I mean, not officially, but like, the 6th
it's debatable.
But I do have a lot of penis jokes, and they find their way on stage a lot because they're easier. Because I'll write sketches, and I'm like, what the fuck kind of detailed work? What? I don't understand. I mean, I look at my own sketches the way I look at anybody's, where I'm like, what the hell is the joke here? Yeah. And then if I can't figure it out, it's not going on stage. So. You're nodding, Delia. What are you thinking? We haven't heard much from you today.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking about you're talking about your sketches, and I was thinking about one of the first sketches that Alicia and I wrote together. It was for the neighborhood before it got its new format, and neither of us had taken sketch before, and I think it was like the first thing that we had written together, and we submitted it to you just like, sure, whatever, we'll write it. If she hates it, at least we tried, and she knows we're into stuff, right? Like, no bad could come of this. And so we sent it, and you were like, I guess the tone I got was like, why the hell did she send? All right, I'll take a look at it. I'll read it. And then you did, and you're like, yeah, I'll give you some notes. And I was like, oh, these are harsh, but they make sense. because we didn't know what we were doing in our sketch or like with writing. I didn't anyway. I mean, can't speak for her. I was just thinking about how you were like, yeah, what is the joke in this? And I thought, oh, I don't know. I just thought this whole thing, like, just as an idea was fun.